Okay, well, good Tuesday night, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is October 1st, 8:15 p.m. And yes, we're in October. Playoff baseball on in the background. Week 4 of the NFL ended last night with a doubleheader on Monday night, and the Jets find themselves at 2-2. You're watching The Takeoff. My name is Alex. Listen, we're going to do not overreaction, reaction Tuesday on the abysmal loss by this New York Jets team that should be 3-1. They make one play in that game and they're 3-1. Except they're 2-2 on just what was a miserable day from morning to end and everything in between. So, first up, let's just say this. After watching the game, and it reminded me of, and I said this earlier, I tried to do a video earlier, those early 90s home games versus the Indianapolis culture, the culture in the AFC East. Remember back then, 20 years ago or so? 6-3 games, 9-7 games, 10-6 games. Always seemed like it was a nasty fall, rainy day, and that's what we had on Sunday. And I'm going to be honest, right up front, we did not stay for the whole game. By the 2-minute warning before the first half, we were in the car. And you could say what you want to say about me. I've been doing this for over 33 years. You know what? We were freezing. We were there from 10 o'clock. We were just drenched from head to toe. Rained. I was supposed to stop at 9 a.m. Went to 10 a.m. Supposed to stop at 11 a.m. Went to 12 a.m. Went to 12 p.m. And then you know what? The game ended and it was still raining. So we got home and we watched just about 95% of the second half. And you know what? I'm glad that we left early. And it doesn't take away any of my fanatic or fandom about this team. It was more about being comfortable, not shivering, not getting sick, and watching this team lose on a field goal that if they're probably 3 yards closer, they win this game to make that field goal. So, listen, I've been listening to the radio the past 2 days, even the press conferences afterwards. Here's my take, and I'm going to be very realistic with this. You could say Aaron Rodgers haters. You could say you don't like him as a player. He's a stat whore. He's all that. Listen, Aaron Rodgers had very little to do with the outcome of that game on Sunday. Okay, he was the least one that I would hold accountable, and I've said this time and time again. I was not a fan of him coming here. I hopped on the bandwagon and drank the Kool-Aid, and I still am. But right now, he is not the cause of these issues. And I said this a lot. Our weakest link is our head coach right now. So, listen, it was a sloppy, miserable game, okay? The quarterback for Denver, Bo Nix, whatever the hell his name is, made one play, okay? He completed a pass in the end zone, a pass that if his receiver is probably, any other receiver probably doesn't make that catch, but he adjusted to make that catch, or else that ball goes through the end zone. And this game is not an issue. It was miserable. Okay, this goes out to Salah not having a team ready. This goes out to the offensive line that jumped false starts at least 4 times that I know of. This goes out to the offensive line that couldn't block, and basically, Breece Hall had 4 yards from line of scrimmage. Mets take game 1 in the wild card over Milwaukee. So, you do that. You do, running the wrong routes. Garrett Wilson running the wrong route. Aaron Lazard running the wrong route. And you have issues. We had a 1st and goal from the 1. 4 plays, and we can't get it in. And it turns out to be an 18-yard field goal. And you keep Allen on the bench, who has been your workhorse, because Hall has not been producing like he has been or had been in the past, and you keep him on the bench. Listen, I understand that history shows that Breece Hall has been the one to bounce it in, but you got to do something, okay? Hackett, again, people throw Hackett under the bus. He called a good enough game for them to win, okay? But obviously not good enough, okay? Wasn't executed. The plays weren't executed. Let's be honest. Okay, Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball slipped out of his hands. Okay, so it was those things that just added up, and they lose. They should be 3-1, and they're now 2-2. Okay, with a big stretch coming up. Now, press conference happens after the game. Okay, Twitter's blowing up. Salah sucks. Aaron Rodgers is over the hill. Okay, here it is. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. Yes. Aaron Rodgers is not mobile as he used to be. Right. Aaron Rodgers did not run the wrong routes. Aaron Rodgers did not fumble the opening drive pass like Garrett Wilson did. Aaron Rodgers didn't jump false start 4 times. Okay? So, all right. My only negative I have to say about Aaron Rodgers in this game was he didn't go to Hackett and say we have to switch this up. We have to change the personnel. We have to change some play calling. We have to do something. We have to catch them. He didn't do that. Maybe he did and Hackett overruled them. I don't know. But, first of all, you go to the post-game press conference, okay? And you have Robert Saleh stand up there. And, first of all, Rodgers was kind of gimpy at the end of the game. You could see he was miserable and whatnot. And they asked Saleh, and he goes, wear and tear, 4 games. He's okay. Okay, fine. Robert, you had 4 or 5 false starts on the offense. What do you think that's about? Well, the cadence. Maybe we should take that out. Okay. So the cadence is you have Rodgers up there, the hard count, people going in motion, whatever you want to call it, up at the line. So, all right, that's what the coach says. Okay, we got to tighten this up. First of all, Robert Saleh has won, I think, 2 games after an extended period of time off, after a bye and after, a 10-day off because of a Thursday game. His record, when they have more time to be prepared, does not work. Okay? It's not a good record. So out goes Robert Saleh. In comes Aaron Rodgers. Now, obviously, Rodgers isn't here at a press conference. He's probably talking to reporters in the locker room. He's showering, whatever. He goes up to the podium. Aaron, how you feeling? I'm a little dinged up or whatever. Weather sucked. So did some of my passes. All right? Right there. Accountability. Okay? We spoke to Robert, we spoke to Coach, and he said, what about the cadence and jumping off sides? And he said, maybe we'll just get rid of it, make it easier. And you could actually see, now I don't know the relationship they have, but you could actually see Aaron Rodgers look, and this is the Jet culture. Okay? Saleh is the epitome of the Jet culture. Aaron Rodgers is what we want him to change to. And Rodgers said, well, that's one way to go about it, or the other way is hold these guys accountable. And then we'll fix it. So now let's get away from it, okay, because it works. Let's fix it. Let's hold these guys accountable. Let's show them what they did wrong. When was the last time you heard a Jet player, a Jet quarterback, take that lead? Okay, and again, I am not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm a fan of the guy who's wearing my logo on his helmet. Okay, but the accountability and the way he said that, you could see the leadership right there. And I am sure that Rodgers is beating their asses this week, letting them know that this is not acceptable. You could see it in his face, okay? He was demoralized. This is a game you should have walked over, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, okay, got to get on the same page with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's got to get on the same page with you. This goes back to the training camp. I don't know if everybody remembers. They had the footage. It was, somebody took it with their phone of them having a pretty candid and pretty lively discussion on the sidelines, him, Lazard, and Garrett Wilson, Rodgers, Lazard, and Garrett Wilson, basically about getting on the same page. They downplayed it. I still think that there's a disconnect there, okay? That needs to be fixed. So right now, listen, the defense gave up 7 points, okay? 60 yards of offense, okay, for the quarterback. So, all right, you want to say Hassan Riddick would have came in and did something? Fine, let's get him in here. I don't think he's going to play for the Jets, but let's get him in here. But you know what? You know who may be playing for the Jets? Devontae Adams, okay? He told the Raiders today, I would rather have a trade. He's not demanding a trade. He goes, but I'd rather be traded. Reports now that the Raiders reach out to teams. Reports that the Jets reached out to the Raiders this morning. And And I just got an alert the Jets are well prepared to get Davante Adams. Now, I don't know when this will be finalized or if it's just, interim talking, what have you. But you put Davante Adams on this offense and you give Rodgers another big target that he knows, okay? And maybe Garrett Wilson now could learn a little bit more. Listen, I know Garrett Wilson is good, okay? He was good with Zach Wilson, but he had 2 years of playing with Zach Wilson. Now he needs to play with Aaron Rodgers, okay? If Zach Wilson can make Garrett Wilson look that good, can you imagine what Aaron Rodgers could do for him? And again, this is not the Aaron Rodgers love fest, okay? I'm just saying he's the only player, probably since Chad Pennington, to ever speak about accountability, okay? And that goes with his past experience, his championships, his MVP, and his skill, okay? So, listen, it's over with. We're 2-2. My buddy George said, I'm tired of making excuses for this team. I'm not making excuses. That is a game they should have won, okay? That is a game that if they make one play, if they gain 4 or 5 yards, they win that game on that field goal, okay? Shouldn't even been that close, okay? They should have scored at least 2 touchdowns. Let's forget that, okay? Let's move on. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, okay, or if I think I know what Aaron Rodgers is thinking, he's going to get this offense ready. Yeah, you're not going to take away his cadence. That is Aaron Rodgers' forte, okay? You're not going to have Aaron Rodgers come in here and you're going to tell him, no, you can't do that. Okay, that's like telling Mariano Rivera, I just want you to throw knuckleballs. Okay, no. The cadence is part of Aaron Rodgers' game. Okay, the offensive line needs to be part of Aaron Rodgers' game. The receivers need to be part of Aaron Rodgers' game. The wide receivers, the running backs, okay, and Hackett. I think, again, Hackett is not to blame for anything this week is either. There may be a slight adjustment, but other than that, you know what? I think we'll be okay. We do face Sam Darnold, and it's the former Jet revenge tour. Zach Wilson was in the building last week. He was the emergency quarterback number 3. He got the win. Sam Darnold is 4-0 in Minnesota. Now they go across the pond. Okay? They're going to London, 9:30 Eastern Time, Sunday morning. So, a little bit of a different setup for them this week. This game scares me. Okay? I had no doubt that the Jets would win Sunday, and the weather, Mother Nature, I said, literally pissed on our parade. This game scares me. It's a game they need to rebound from. You don't want to look ahead. Sam Darnold has the hot hand right now. And you got to see how Rodgers reacts. Now, Rodgers on Pat McAfee today, and he said that his knees are a little swollen. He's a little bit in pain. Listen, 40 years old, wear and tear. I get it. They got to protect him better, but I'm not going to get crazy about this. He is a professional. He'll know what he has to do to get better or to make himself feel better. So, like I said, we'll discuss the Jets go to London later this week. Maybe by that point we'll know about Davante Adams. I actually said it to the guy behind me at the game. We were talking in the pouring rain, and he said, how long until Davante Adams becomes a Jet? And I said, Monday Night Football game against the Bills, he'll be here playing for us. You know what? If this happens this week, he'll be ready for Monday night against the Bills. But I'm not looking ahead. We got a game coming up this week. I think this was a kick in the ass, just like that first game against San Fran. All the hype and everybody, they played the NFC champions, and they pretty much showed this is the level you have to get to. Then they went and they played a better game. Then they went and played out a very good game. And they looked like they almost expected just to walk over this team on Sunday. But you know what? Denver's an NFL team also. They have a good coach. And, they were going to give a fight. Now, speaking of coaches, you guys out there, and I'm talking about the average fan, the Jet haters, the Aaron Rodgers haters, the experts on the radio, if you think Robert Saleh is going to be fired mid-season, you're crazy. They're not going to rock the boat. Okay, that's number one. Number two, there were games last year where Saleh should have been fired in midseason and they didn't get rid of him because his wild card was Aaron Rodgers was injured. Okay, bringing the defensive coordinator up to take over, and it's not going to happen. You think he's going to do two things? No. He's not going to be the defensive coordinator or head coach. A rookie head coach is just going to be pushed up during the season. Here's the deal, okay? Aaron Rodgers, you have for this year and next year. Robert Saleh goes through this year, okay? I don't know what happens next year. Aaron Rodgers may have a say in that. I don't know. But if you think on October, the first week of October, if they lose this week, they're gonna be 2-3. That they're gonna just revamp the whole coaching staff. There's another thing coming. Okay. The one thing I could see, but it is not going to happen, is Hackett becomes the head coach. I can see Rodgers talking to Woody Johnson. Woody is very loyal to the people or the coaches that he likes and respects. Rex was here a long time. Rex was probably here 2 years longer than most people expected. Woody went out and got Tim Tebow. Woody, whatever he had to do, he tried to do. I give that to Woody. He goes with his gut. So if Rodgers goes to him, listen, I'll play for you for the next 2-3 years, hire Hackett as the head coach, I see that happening. It is still a shot in the wind. It's, that happens. It is a long shot. I don't think it happens. What I do think it happens is they right this ship. Maybe not this week. Within the next 2 weeks, they right the ship and they go on a tear. They're down, and I think maybe they get outplayed Sunday. But I do think they have the leadership in that locker room with Rodgers. Okay, we got to get C.J. Mosley back on the field. I really thought he was going to play Sunday, but he's still ailing with his foot or his toe injury. Hopefully, he'll play Sunday. He'll make the trip. But that's all I'm going to say right now. So, listen, just to recap. Ill-prepared. And if you want to see something great, I'm just quick. Damian Woody went on a rant to start a show, and he basically said everything that I just said about Robert Saleh, okay? I want to like Robert Saleh. I really thought he's coming from a winning organization. He's young. He's tough. He's defensive-minded, but we need something more. And he fell into this culture of mediocrity. Well, we'll just kind of remove that to clean it up, to get them to... No. They're being paid good money. You tell them, this is the way I want it done. Okay? And they will learn. If they don't learn, you replace them. It is what it is. Okay? You built this team around your quarterback. Last year, that went out the window. This year, you still have a chance. Okay? It's week to week. It's play to play now. But, no. I think Rodgers' expression said it all. And I think, maybe not a players-only meeting, but I think a practice will be a little different. I think preparation will be a little different. And I really think we're going to see a good game on Sunday. I will give my predictions later on this week. And that's where we are now. So we're on Devontae Adams' watch. Okay, does he become a Jet before the weekend? Before they make the trip across the pond? Does Joe Douglas stay in the United States to get this done? The Mets are up 1-0 in the wild card. Hockey starts this weekend. And you know what? You got a 2-2 Jet team playing a very good Minnesota team. Ironically, the NFC team that they're not part of the division they're playing. So they're playing this year San Fran, Arizona, the Los Angeles Rams, and Seattle Seahawks. That 17th game, that extra game, happens to be Minnesota. And they're catching Minnesota on a 4-0 run. So we shall see. Again, you're watching The Takeoff. Reach out to us. We're on Twitter. @The Jets Takeoff is our Twitter handle. We are on YouTube. You can subscribe to us. The Takeoff is the name of the YouTube account. The Jets Takeoff or @The Jets Takeoff is the YouTube channel. You can Google it. And, of course, you can email us at thejets.takeoff@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed week, however they say it. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And let's see what we got going on if we have any news before the end of the week.